Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to TTIO. In today's episode of Things That I Own, please stay tuned as we'll be reviewing The Simpsons, the complete second season collector's edition on DVD. All the special features along with it, or most of them at least the ones that I watched. This is take two of this episode. Last one, I paused for about 2 minutes, just kind of staring off into space as somebody knocked on my door and I didn't answer. Kind of contemplating life. It left me frustrated, but then I reminded myself that life is unfair, but it owes you nothing. It is, my apologies, its own creature that does as it will, doing its own thing. You're along for the ride. The fact that you are even existing conscious conscious and you have the ability to make your own decisions to any degree is kind of mathematically a miracle. I'm scratching my wrist once again. I'm not sure what it sounds like, but if it is making an unpleasant sound, I apologize. Eczema. Red, bumpy, itchy skin causes many cures unknown. At least I don't know any. And right now it is invading and attacking my hands, my feet. My entire life have kind of pitter pattered, have kind of, I don't know how to put it. When something bounces between two things, flip flopped. Kidding his feet. Uh, my eczema is kind of flip flopped, but between my feet, alternating on what spots they do, but they've always stayed on my feet. Uh, in various locations, my feet get dry and itchy. No, it seems no matter what I do. However, recently my hands have been getting red, itchy, and bumpy, but not dry. No, they've been getting dry, but I've been keeping them hydrated more often than not. And I'm willing to bet it is either something I'm eating or stress from work. However, I do not feel stressed. However, me not feeling stressed doesn't mean that I am not stressed. Because I am the best liar when it comes to lying to myself, I feel. Not that I'm intentionally lying to myself, I genuinely do not feel any more particularly stressed than I usually am. I do think about more stressful things often, but I like to think I don't sweat it, but apparently I guess I am. If you have any recommendations for relaxing, please leave them in the comments and I will try to follow them to my fullest extent. I think I'm going to start by removing Amazon from my phone so that I stop checking how close my packages are to getting to here, so that I stop ordering things impulsively based off of how many of them are left in stock and how bad I want them, even though I didn't know that they existed prior to me seeing them, no matter how much they cost. And I might even remove YouTube to stop myself from investigating how much sound systems and home theater systems cost and what the best combination is, despite the fact that I will never buy the things to make one, nor do I have a need for one. I don't even desire that level of audio and visual quality. I have a tiny flat screen TV labeled Sanyo that I have had for the past 11 to 12 years of my life. It looks like shit. It has dark corners, dead pixels, and even a line of dead pixels that I am unable to fix. Yet it has treated me well, and I probably will not upgrade anytime soon, despite the cheapest flat screen TV with all my desired specs only being about $200. It does not pertain to me. I don't use it enough to upgrade, but I may or may not continue to fuel my addiction. My computer just turned off. Fuel my addiction, and I will call it an addiction, of physical media. Uh, as a kid, I did not have. I had very much many physical media on DVDs. I did not treat them right, did not take care of them very well. When it was time to move, the big move of my life, I gave them away to my nieces and nephews, who most likely still do not have them. very sad to me for a little bit. No longer, however, I grew up and I realized that they were objects of the past that transformed me or helped to transform me into the person that I am today, and I'm grateful for that. I have, however, been buying more physical media, just in case. I don't know. I just don't like I just don't, such a big online buzz. It's not very interesting to have all my songs listed on a Spotify playlist. Or it is, but it's more interesting to hold them in real life. It's more interesting to have them forever. It's more interesting that when the power goes out or when the Wi Fi goes out, I'll still have all my music and all my movies that I'll be able to play one way or another via portable DVD players, portable CD players, and other electronic devices. Still attached to electronic devices though, but a more primitive era, one that I grew up in that I wasn't able to fully indulge in, which is maybe why I'm fully indulging in them now. Something I have yet to ponder on very much or very seriously, which is a good signal to me that is most likely something that is not good that my brain does not want me to pay attention to so that I keep fueling it. But I think I'm done. Or see, I was about to impulsively say, well, I want to buy Smiling Friends, the complete first season on Blu-ray DVD, but that's what I always say when I say I think I'm done. It's like, oh, there's that one more thing, I'll buy it and then I'll be done. And I think that's why it's an addiction. But I feel like I have a pretty healthy, steadily growing collection, and it wouldn't hurt to just stop growing it for a while and maybe focus on other things. Maybe actually take time to enjoy it. I have taken some time to enjoy it, but there's so much of it there that I really do have a lot to enjoy that I really should be just actually enjoying instead of adding to things that I don't have. Bit off topic, but switching topics actually is a better phrase for me to use. Switching topics. Today, my day at work was very fantastic, yet also very interesting. I usually wake up at 5:15 a.m. is when my alarm goes off. I made my alarm a rooster crowing because it seems that musical ones don't do it for anymore. They just give me bad anxiety, bad juju. They really do start my day off worse, I feel. Listening to a musical ringtone, it never helps, even if I do find it more catchy or more auditorially attractive. I do grow tired of it very quickly, and it does just start me off in a bad mood that I have to listen to that dreaded sound. However, the sound of a rooster is very unbiased. It's a animal that's just doing what it does, which is crow when it sees light. Like, what is crow the right word? Howl, hoot. What word would you use for a rooster cockadoodle doodling without saying all that? I'll continue to say crow. If you wish to correct me, please leave a comment. But that noise seems to work the best for me. That paired with the fact that I put my alarm across the room so that when I hear it and I want it to stop, I must spring out of bed, click snooze, bring it back to bed to kind of wake myself up, and then I'm kind of just off and ready for the morning. From 5:20 to 5:30, I'll use the bathroom. I'm not actually using the bathroom. I'm just kind of sitting there. Uh, from 5:30 to 5:50, I'm getting dressed, but I'm not really getting dressed. Half getting dressed, half kind of waking up. It really only takes me about 5 minutes to put all my clothes on, but it takes me about 15 minutes to wake up. So I'm kind of putting on pants, and then I'll sit down, and then I'll put on a shirt, and then I'll kind of sit down, and then I'll put on my earbuds, and then I'll kind of sit down. I'll just kind of do that. And I still do rock the hang around the neck earbuds. That is how I do it. AirPods and buds and stuff like that. Those are all nice, but they're very easy to lose, and if they fall in my ear, they're gonna land in chemicals and on concrete covered in chicken juice, and they'd be too expensive and it'd scare me. So I bought a nice, cheap $20 pair of earbuds, and I don't really care what happens to them. They actually surprisingly sound great. Listing on Amazon is completely gone, which is very sad because I actually like them so much. I was going to buy a second pair, but now the listing has changed to in favor of a more modern looking pair of earbuds. But they show up on my phone as the Jaw Gen 5 or the Jaw G5. That's what they're called, and they kind of wrap around your neck. And they have little magnets that stick into the slots. And I like that they hang, so if my manager comes in or a manager comes in, period, and they are about to see me with my headphones on, I'll just kind of pop it out and tuck it underneath my apron. And I'll just go ahead and get right back to work. I'm gonna lay down now. I feel much nicer here, much more relaxed. I did just get off of work. Oh no, I didn't say the date and time. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. The time is, what time is it? It is now 4:11. When I recorded the first take, I said the date and time, so I forgot to this round. I really do want to start. I want to get the intro down packed, but I don't feel like starting over just because of that, because this one's already going so much better. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm looking forward to Thursday this week. I can't remember exactly what the date is, but I remember Thursday this week there's supposed to be a thunderstorm, and I am excited to record with the rain hitting the window outside. I feel like that will add a nice touch to this podcast or show or whatever you would like to call it. I'm not sure what to call it either. My day at work was pretty damn good, I say. I remember for the first hour I was kind of just hobbling around, but for the next 3 or 4 hours, just so many nice, specifically old people who are older than me, which isn't like I mean, everybody there is older than me. I think I'm probably one of the youngest working people in my genre of the store. The stockers, and stockers being STOCKING, not the STALKING, which is the illegal version of stocking. I do the legal version of stocking at a grocery store, and all the old people there were just giving me the brightest, beamiest smiles with the most genuine, "Good morning, young man. Good morning, good sir. How are you today?" Just kind of nodding back. I remember I was sitting there thinking what would make me feel better because I have a bit of an empty stomach, and I was like, I could go for a bottle of orange juice and a slice of yellow American cheese. So I bought myself a bottle of Tropicana orange juice, about a pint of Tropicana orange juice, no pulp. All these wonderful, encouraging old people just giving me smiles and hellos and good mornings. People I don't even know, just striking up a wonderful, friendly conversation, filling me with so much joy. And as I bring my Tropicana back to a freezer, and then I go back to the freezer that I work in, or the walk-in that I work in. I'm sorry, the walk-in refrigerator that I work in. What do I see? I see a nice pile of leftover yellow American cheese from the previous day. I grab a slice or two with my orange juice, and wow, hit the spot. Has never felt so apt. So is that the correct word? So true. It really did hit the spot. Like when I was eating it, it really did felt like that there was a spot that it was hitting that nothing else could have. It was truly magnificent. Other than that, just some light stalking and honestly just some slacking. I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying because I really am a hard, quick, fast worker. But I get tired and whiny. But instead of expressing that to make other people feel bad or to put that burden onto other people, which I feel like is irresponsible, I'll just do it in the form of what I like to call tasteful slacking. I'll sit down in the break room. If somebody ever walks in, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm just taking a 10 because I need to text or call a family member about something." or a friend who something just happened to. So I'll kind of use that excuse. And if they don't walk in, they don't know how long I've been there, and I get to say, "Oh, I've been taking a 10 that I'm about to wrap up," and immediately prompt them with the question, "Were you looking for me to do something? I can go do it right after this," which immediately averts their energy from "Why aren't you working?" to "Can you do this next?" And then their anger washes off, or their perturbedness or their confusion all washes off, and they immediately think, "Can you go do that thing I was going to ask you to do anyways?" Then you say yes. Then they get on with their life, and then you stay in there for 5 more minutes because they don't know how long you've been in there, and they don't know how long, much longer, I'm sorry, that it's going to take. That combined with just using the bathroom a bunch, and then if anybody asks you why you use the bathroom so much, you just say, "I have irritable bowel syndrome," and then you could just get on with your day. You know what I'm saying? That's that that's what I do. Not often enough to where I don't get any work done, but often enough to where if I have an hour or two free, instead of going back up to the front to help other people, which I've done way too much of because I guess let people take advantage of me, I just kind of do my own thing, trying to blow off some steam and thinking about what I'm going to do when I get home. The most stressful part, excuse me, does it say 16? Okay, nice. We are at 16 minutes and what does it say? 13 seconds, 14 seconds, 15 seconds. Nice. I try to make these at least 30 minutes. I'm sorry for getting off topic so much. I'm just so comfortable. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to impress anybody. Mainly because the view count is 0, which is awesome. It's amazing. So refreshing. I'm not trying to. I really do feel like I'm just kind of talking in my room, but the fact that I'm posting it. Oh, I'm getting off topic again. Stressful. Ow. The most stressful part about my day was a individual at work. I will not name them. An individual at work was airing their grievances. They didn't seem in a particularly bad mood, but they were very open about how they weren't having a particularly good day. I never inquired about it, but they did end up eventually telling it to me. I think I was making somebody a piece of food in exchange for currency, and I was kind of staring at the timer as it was going down as I was waiting for something to heat up. And I was doing it a bit comically. They were right next to me as they were filling popcorn, and I was doing it a bit comically, maybe to get a chuckle out of them or something. And they were like, "Why are you staring at that?" And I was like, "It makes it go faster." And I feel like when people do have something that they want to say or want to get off their chest and they haven't been prompted yet to say it or air it, they will just do it at any moment that they see fit if they wait long enough. And I think that was their moment because out of nowhere, they just said, "Man, I got dumped today," which sucks because I knew their significant other. They go, "Man, I got dumped today, and it's also on the anniversary of my dad's death." And I didn't look at them. I just said, "Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that." But in my head, I was like, this is some wild shit to say at 2 p.m. in front of a bunch of customers waiting for food. This is some wild shit. And I get, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, everybody needs to get something that's really bothering them off their chest, correct? But I feel like there's a time and a place, and I feel like that there was should have been another way to air it out. By the way, they just had went on their break, so if there was any time to air it out, it probably would have been then. But it didn't bother me much. It was just something that got me thinking. And but I mean that wasn't really the highlight. The highlight is I was kind of just standing in the back drinking a bottle of water, just kind of like killing some more time. And they were like, I want to blow my brains out just like my dad did." And I was like, what am I supposed to say? You know, like I don't understand. It's not frustrating me. It doesn't make me feel any particular way because I look at everything up almost uncomfortably objectively, like so separated from the situation. But what am I supposed to say? Like when you not to imply anything, but when you say that, what response are you expecting? Are you expecting some shock, some grief, some comfort, some laughs? I want because I mean, if it ever happens again, I'll just say what I say before. It's like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, as I'm like walking away. But it's like, when those words come out of your mouth, are you thinking about an outcome that you're desiring, or are you just saying them because your brain's on autopilot and you're just feeling numb? And I'm not sure how to deal with that emotion, not grief, but how to, because it's not a very particular emotion. It's just somebody say it's just an emotion that inflicts when somebody says some crazy shit and you kind of don't know what to say. You don't feel particularly awkward or embarrassed, but you do just kind of, it's almost like the purest form of like being lost. It's like I don't even know what to think, what to do. Like I don't even know. Like you kind of you it almost feels like you took a paper clip and you put it and you push that little tiny red button on the back of toys right underneath the battery pack where it just resets me. And I just kind of like blink and go blank and I'm like, I don't understand. That was some crazy shit you just said. I don't understand. Like I don't get it. You know. And I don't know, it's just weird to me. Weird, weird, weird. Absolutely, not absolutely, but probably positively perplexing. And if you have an experience like that at work or something along those lines, I'd love to hear about it. It is now the end of the episode. This episode will be a bit shorter because I made myself some lunch, which is sitting on the table across from me. And I've been looking at it this entire time, very anxious to eat it. It's a sandwich on white bread, some boar's head Ichiban chicken with the boar's head Italian and herb mozzarella, and some nacho flavored Doritos, and a tall, tall, tall glass of water. I'm getting very excited to eat it. But before I do, patience, my patience will be rewarded as I crack open and I give you my thoughts on The Simpsons, the complete second season, DVD Collector's Edition. A bit of a short one this time. I would love to give a more in-depth one, a more in-depth review later. This box set, I think, is probably in terms of style and design my second favorite, the outer shell. And if you have one at home, please pick it up and look through it with me. I have a bit of a different one. I think I have one of the reprints where it's not a fold-out design, where it kind of folds out like not an accordion, but it folds out like one of those things. You open it up, and it's a bunch of clear books of DVDs with the characters on them. Uh, Not the ones where you spin it around. You have the characters' heads on the DVDs, and you spin it around onto their bodies. It's the one where it's just like the full plain images of the characters. I'm not sure why this one's different. I owned the what I'm assuming to be the original as a kid, but I have this one and it is mine. I like that, and if you don't know what the format for the Simpsons box sets are, it's usually the case with a portrait of the Simpsons on the outside, a couple heads on the spine. When you open it up, one flap will usually contain a booklet giving you a quick TV guide style description of all all the episodes on that season, with a little image to help you guide which one that you would like, and the runtime, of course. And a wonderful letter from Matt Groening, thanking you for purchasing the DVD and explaining every single season how he's like, man, I can't believe this season, the series sold so well. Like, I'm so glad people enjoy it. Now, the second season is particularly special to me because it's the first season where it actually feels like, or the feels the closest to the Simpsons. And I think I'm gonna skip the design of the box because I do want to do just a whole episode gawking and ranking the Simpsons seasons box designs 1 through 5, and maybe I'll do 5 through 10 later on. But I don't think I want to buy them after. I don't usually buy them after that, also because the boxes just get way less interesting. They just become portraits of people's heads. And the second season of The Simpsons is special to me because it really feels like it's when the Simpsons actually first takes place. The first season is really just kind of exploring like a regular family like sitcom because it was nothing like it done before, correct? It was there wasn't really an animated family sitcom before The Simpsons, or at least not one that did it like The Simpsons, which was just completely grounded and realistic. They just happened to be cartoons. It's kind of almost the same principle as King of the Hill. People go, King of the Hill wouldn't be as good as if it were live action, which one I don't think is true, but two, so what? It is a cartoon, and that's it just is. It doesn't need to be a cartoon. The Simpsons doesn't need to be a cartoon. It could just be a sitcom with a slightly higher budget to pull off some of the gaffes that it has, but really it work because I think it just does work best as a cartoon, and I enjoy it the most as a cartoon. It's a great way to reflect some beautiful and but simple imagery. The first season of The Simpsons was trying to find its voice, and I'm not sure if it ever did in the first season. It got there close, but not really. Mainly because of all the characters. Like, they weren't sure exactly what to do with Bart. Like, they knew Bart. I think at some point during while the season was airing, they figured out that Bart was a fan favorite, which is why they tried to ham it up so much with season 2 and 3. They did so many Bart centric episodes. Not complaining, that was probably the best of Bart that we ever got. But other than that, they didn't really know what to do with the rest of the characters. They had a vague idea, like everybody was just about the same, but kind of toned down because they didn't know exactly what to accentuate. A lot more Looney Tune style sequences in it, like especially the babysitter episode, which was the finale of season one. And now I'm just talking about season one, but I think it's important because it's so early on in The Simpsons. And season one, I think the biggest difference is probably Homer. Homer wasn't as dim-witted and incompetent as he was in the later seasons. He's a lot more angry. He's more just like a regular, like a dude, like a regular dad. And in season two, I think something finally clicked, and they just kind of made him a bit more of like a dopey, kind of lovable guy that reacts on impulse. And I think that's one of the biggest differences. Season two is really where the regular Simpsons starts to take place. Everybody gets more on model. All the characters are a bit more on par with what we usually know them for. Their classic stereotypes. Surprisingly emotional, an emotional season, as in a lot of the episodes try to tug at your heartstrings, and a lot of them are successful. Bart gets an F, and Lisa Substitute, to name a couple. Those are pretty good ones that hit the mark for what they were aiming for. And I think Bart ruins Thanksgiving is on there, I believe. I can't remember exactly. Uh, the way we was, the way we was the episode, the way we was on this season, that and One Fish, Two Fish, Blowfish, Bluefish are probably my favorite. I think. I think those stick the most out to me, mostly because they're about Homer and Marge's marriage, which is something that I like a lot. I like how they handle it in the show a lot, and they're very accentuated there. Brush with Greatness is also a very good one. And is what Bart episode did I say it was? Bart Ruins Thanksgiving? Bart Ruins Thanksgiving is in season two, correct? Bart. Yeah, it is. Okay. I was making sure. I was about to lose my mind. Bart versus Thanksgiving is on this. I'm not sure why I'm so attached to that one, but it feels very important to me. Uh, but You know what? I'm hungry and I'm tired. But I will promise you this, viewer. Next episode will be tenfold better. I will be tenfold more attentive and in tune. And I can't wait to see you next time.